I have a diagnosis for you today that'll change your life and get you to where you want to be. You're sick. You need help because you are full of shit. And until you cleanse yourself, until you create space, you'll never realize the life that you want to realize for yourself. That's what I got for you today. The idea that if you can apply this concept that we're going to talk about, which will require just 15 minutes of your time, you can create space and find a better version for yourself. And the reason you need to create space is because if you think of a measuring cup that holds just 1 cup of water or 1 cup of fluid, and you try to pour 2 cups of water or fluid into that measuring cup, what's going to happen is the cup will overflow. And the reason you're full of shit is because we're more like garbage cans. And if you can think of the analogy, especially in the IT world, which is where I'm from, garbage in, garbage out. And at some point, our capacity for garbage is only but so much, and we overflow. So let's get into story mode and be relatable and understand what is happening today in some capacity. We're waking up, hopefully. We're on God's list. We've been chosen, and you got another day. And ironically, it's early. Maybe it's 5:30. You're getting yourself ready, splashing some water in your face, brushing your teeth, getting ready to rush out the door for your hour-long commute to your grind, your job, to what pays the bill. And we know in our heads, this job we have is just temporary until we become the CEO of our worlds. So you get on the bus, you get on the train, or you get in your car, get yourself to work, and it takes the hour and 15, depending on traffic. And that experience is that experience. You just want to get there. You want to be on time. You want to start your day so you can get paid. You get into the office. It's about 7 a.m. You put your bag down. You got your bacon, egg, and cheese. You're about ready to eat. And on your cubicle, on your office, or your neighbor, your colleague comes over to you. And we're going to call him Pablo. Pablo comes over, as he does every morning at 7 a.m., to greet you and say hello. And, of course, Pablo has his own breakfast, and he has a faji yogurt. I hate yogurt. And if you're like me and you hate yogurt, and it's faji, F-A-G-E, I thought it was phage. Comes over with his fancy fucking faji and his monster drink. He sits down in the chair across from you. He rips open the seal to that faji, lets out the disgusting smell of that yogurt because you're like me and you hate yogurt, and it makes the story better. Reaches into his nasty-ass pocket, pulls out some extra oats or berries or cherries, whatever the fuck he got. He dumps it into his faji, pulls out his plastic spoon, cracks open his Monster Energy drink, and he starts to converse with you about his shitty-ass wife and his shitty-ass life and his shitty-ass soccer meets and Girl Scout endeavors and all his life garbage. He's just unloading it on you. And meanwhile, because you hate yogurt, the smell of it is irritating you. The sound of him slurping his monster drink is irritating you, but you put on a smile because you don't want to be rude to Pablo. You listen to all his shitty-ass life stories, and when he's done with his faji and his monster drink, in your empty and clean garbage, literally, he drops his disgusting smelling leftovers and his drink that still has a little bit at the bottom. You can hear it hit the bottom of your garbage and spill over just a little bit into that nasty faji, and that's how your day starts. And because you have the most beautiful grind and job in the world that you love, now your bacon, egg, and cheese is cold. You got it dumped on by Pablo. Garbage in, garbage out. You go to heat up your bacon, egg, and cheese and realize you have 15 tickets, 28 emails, 13 voicemails, because you have work to do. And before you even bite into that now rubbery bacon, egg, and cheese, you get a phone call from a user in your job, and they need help because you work IT like me, and their computer doesn't work. So you rush over to make sure that their computer works, and there's some overweight, out of shape, busting out their clothes person, breathing all down your neck, telling you that they can't survive and they can't get their job done because your shit doesn't work, as if it's your computer. And here you go. This perpetuates out for over an hour. You finally get this computer working. You get back to your office. You left your bacon, egg, and cheese out. It's even more rubbery. It's only 9 o'clock. And you sit down for another deep breath, and your shitty-ass boss is knocking on your door now to tell you all the shitty-ass things that you need to do because his job or her job is just to make sure you do your job. And all you could think about while you're looking at this heathen who's probably also overweight and out of shape talk to you about his shitty ass or her shitty ass life while they need you to do your job to make their job easier. And you're just like, I could do your job so much better than you could, and you suck. And while this is happening, your wife is like, don't forget the diapers tonight, right? And all you want to do is get to 5 o'clock. And this cycle is going on and 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 on until you punch out. Finally get to 5 o'clock. You got another shitty-ass commute home. There's even more traffic going home than there was on the way to work. All you could think about is Pablo and his faji, your shitty-ass boss, the 12 different people you helped to get their job done while you were doing your job. You walk into the door hoping that there's a hot meal because, you know, your wife didn't go through a shitty day either. You're just hoping that she, or maybe you got a he, whatever you got at home, got something hot on the stove. And as soon as you walk in looking for a warm embrace, she asks, where's the diapers? Right? This is life. This is life. And by this point, when she asks the question of where's the diapers, your cup, that garbage, is overflowing. And you explode and she explodes. Babies are crying. You got to run back to the store. And you're like, before I get back home, let me hit the liquor store. We get a bottle of rum or something so I can drink my pain away. And this goes on. You do what you got to do. And you go to sleep to wake up to do it again. And this, my friends, all of a sudden, a decade has passed. A decade of Pablo and fajis and energy drinks, of people who don't understand what you do and how you do it, asking you to do it faster, a boss that is absolutely terrible at their job, telling you what to do, forgetting the diapers, that turns into soccer practice and Girl Scout cookies and everything wonderful about life. And now in the process, you're overweight, out of shape, and you're wondering how a decade has passed, and all you can see until probably you die is the same life over and over and over again. And this, my friends, is real life. It's a real struggle. And I'm here to tell you that if you see something better for yourself, if you see something different, if you want to become the CEO of your world and rake in a gazillion dollars for whatever you see, there's always going to be garbage. And you're only going to be able to accept so much, and you're only going to be able to process so much, and you're only going to be so fulfilled before you realize that everyone is in the same rhythm, pattern, and beat as you. It's life. And so the out you need, the way to build a healthy routine and lifestyle and empty yourself to be able to absorb successfully, peacefully, and dare I say pridefully, this life thing, is to work on your mindset by becoming aware, by having a mindful practice. That's it. Nothing crazy. I'm not going to give you the code to Fort Knox or whatever it is. I'm not going to give you the code to universal power and the key to God's kingdom. But I can tell you this. If you can find it within yourself to realize I'm just a garbage can, I'm just a measuring cup, and for me to get to where I got to go and where I want to be and have a healthier life, I just got to become a bigger cup, a bigger garbage can, so I can absorb more of what the world offers and I can deal with it more peacefully and become who I need to become. And a mindful practice is to me, it's not strenuous as far as physical activity. I'm not telling you to go run a marathon, lift some weights, although you should probably do that. I'm not even telling you to pray. Mindfulness and the ability to start to be able to empty yourself and go on a cleanse and release all the shit is to find 15 minutes a day to do absolutely nothing and practice either meditating, journaling, or going dark on some kind of walk, or even sitting on your toilet bowl in the dark for 15 minutes and watching what happens with your thoughts. The possibility and the power of this practice is that we are so detached from ourselves and into what we think we have to do every day that we can't find space to process more rationally what we should and shouldn't be doing in order to achieve the life we see for ourselves. And the reality to practicing mindfulness is this as well. We already have to absorb some garbage. We already have a cup that's being poured into, and what we're seeking is change. And change implies exactly what it is. You're not building something brand new. You're not building a brand new house. Like, you gotta gut it. You gotta understand that electricity still needs to run, water still needs to flow, food still has to be on the table. You can't just run away. I mean, you could. I guess you could just never come home again and start, go somewhere and start new. But the reality is you're not going to do that, and that's not cool, and you're not leaving. And even if you did, it's still going to be a lot of work. So change is exactly that. You're still going to have to get up at 5 o'clock. You're still going to have to deal with Pablo. You're still going to have this boss. But you can start to change some things along the way so that over the course of the next decade or whatever it takes, for some of you, you'll find something. You can find a new life in 6 months, maybe a year. Some of you, it's going to take a little while because you have to change a lot of what's going on. And so the mindfulness, the awareness you need, the ritual and routine of going dark is to be able to watch your thoughts and understand what's happening in there. What's causing you this blockage? Why can't you see and do and work on the processes you need to work on to find a more fulfilling route and path for yourself? And again, I don't know what it is you need to do, but at some point, it's going to come down to the basic principles of you probably need new skills, you probably need a new circle, you probably need a new boss, or maybe you need to become a boss, maybe you need to work on your marriage, maybe you got to work on your kids, maybe you got to work on all these things. But you won't be able to figure out what to do for yourself. You won't be able to figure out how to plan and be meticulous. You won't be able to figure out how to create space until you learn you need space. And a meditation practice or a journaling practice or a long walk of doing nothing or sitting on the bowl in silence, what it does is allow you to realize that you are full, that you are overflowing, that your garbage is just running over. And you need to know, all right, what do I need to remove so that I can focus on me and not have any more blockage so I can make the changes I seek? And so a lot of what people will tell you and push you in towards as far as, the healthy changes you need to make, you go dark and that means going dark from the world that's around you. Like, you're going to need to tell Pablo, take your Fahi monster drinking ass out of my office in the morning. I don't need you for 30 minutes breaking my brain about your Girl Scout your shitty life, your shitty wife. I don't need that. I need you to go away, right? I need my boss who I know doesn't do anything and is breaking me down and not helping me grow. Or maybe it's because you haven't come to him or her and said, hey, I've been working for you for 10 years. You've never promoted me. How do I get promoted? Maybe you need time and space to realize instead of sitting on the bowl for an extra hour while you're at work and doom scrolling your life away, I could watch a video how to better my skills, right? I can create a routine of working out and being disciplined because it'll make me feel better about myself. I don't know the specifics of what you need to do, but a decade of a shitty-ass commute to work, Pablo and Fahis, and a terrible boss to come home and take it out on your significant other and have it taken it back out on you and never creating time and space to be able to find a way out is madness. And knowing that repeating this over and over and over is only going to get you what you're getting, right, is madness. And so the principle and the premise and the cliche for what this amounts to is nothing changes if nothing changes. I say it over and over and over. You're going to be a routine anyway. So why not take some time to become mindful, give yourself some space, see what's going on in here, and realize that the same things that's going on in here for you is going on for everybody else. And if you can separate and pull back from that, create some space, know where you need to go to work on yourself, give yourself some time, then you can break away from the life you see to just go on a path of a life you see. Because there's going to be garbage along the way, even when you become the CEO of your life. It's just your ability to maintain and absorb will be a lot more disciplined, a lot more patient, a lot more empathetic, and it'll be more cool because you'll be the CEO. Change your mind, change your life. I am who I say I am. Stay rich.